Alright, so this is an intro to Riichi Mahjong, specifically the Japanese version of Mahjong. As you may know, it did not originate in Japan, it originated in China. And this is pertaining to Mahjong Soul. It's a gacha Mahjong game, one of the more popular ones compared to some other websites. And East games. Now, I'll preface this with, there are two types of games, East and South. South are much longer and I'm pretty sure the rules are the same, and East are shorter. So, let's begin. We have 4 topics today. We have introduction, overall game plan, terminology, tiles and scoring, and finally, Yakuza. The page numbers are incorrect, I apologize. So, game structure of Mahjong. You are given a starting hand of 13 tiles, and a random player is designated the dealer. I believe dealer is also called Oya. The dealer is the first to act and the first to draw. They are situated in the east seat, and there is a certain order where everyone's assigned based on their position to the dealer. The dealer also gets 50% more points and continues to be the dealer if they win. Great. Next. Every turn you are given a single tile drawn from the wall, which is also known as the deck, and you are to discard 1 tile. And in between turns, there can be actions taken, such as pawn, chi. We'll get to those later. Your goal, and the utmost goal of Mahjong, is to make 4 melds, or triplets, these guys, and a pair. Now, depending on the different tiles you do it with, the order, the positions, and all that, they're worth different amounts. So, you can declare game win through sumo, which is drawing the last tile you need, or ron, which is stealing the tile from another player's discard. And you don't want to play into other players' hands. We'll get into safe and dangerous tiles a little bit later. There. So this is the seating arrangement for Mahjong. You're assumed to be the bottom. So your right player, the shimocha. My Japanese pronunciation is not very good. I apologize. The middle player, completely across from you, the toiman. And left, the kamicha. Left player. This left player is important, but we'll get there. Whoops. So, we have a myriad of terms when it comes to actually scoring. We have Yakuza. Yakuza are probably the most important to memorize. There are a plethora of different hands that are worth different amounts. Their values, right over here, Han, depends on how complex they are. Can range from many things, but we'll go over just a few for now. The Dora. So the Dora, at the beginning of the round, there will be a group of, I believe, 5 tiles in the top left. 4 of them are hidden for now, but one of them will be flipped face up. That tile, and that's a physical tile too, that's not an indicator, as in that tile exists there in that space. The tile after that one is the Dora. So if I flip a 1 of pins, the Dora is the 2 of pins. Okay. And we also have the Akadora, which are red 5s. There are 3 red 5s. The bamboo, pin, and character. They're worth 1 Han, I'm pretty sure. The same as the Dora. Tenpai being 1 away from winning. As in, you're waiting for 1 more tile, and if it's dropped by a player, or you draw into it, you win. You have made either 3 melds and a pair, and you're waiting for the last piece of a meld, or you've made 4 melds and you have 1 tile and you're waiting for a duplicate in order to make a pair. Right, great. And Ishanten, there's many terms for being near Tenpai, but Ishanten is 1 away from Tenpai. So you're 2 tiles away total from winning. Awesome. These are the names of different amount of points you can get for certain hands. Meaning it's 3, if your hand is worth 3 han, 8,000 points, it's called Mangan. 6 or 7, Haneman, 12,000. Baiman, 8 to 10, 16,000. Mind you, these are worth more as a dealer, 50% more. I believe it goes 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 more. And we have San Baiman, 11 or 12 han, 24,000. And finally, the hand that everyone is going for, and that is the Yakuman. These are very, very specific hands that award the most amount of points. Speaking of points, you start at 25,000. If anyone goes under 0, the game is over because there's no points. Alright, next. Tile calling. Everyone's favorite buttons to press in Mahjong. So first, we have Qi. Qi, it can only be called if the person on your left, the Kamicha, discards a tile that creates a sequential sequence, meaning 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, things like that. And it will immediately prompt you to discard another one right after that. Mind you, if in this case, this doesn't matter, but with Pon and Kan, these two, if you were to call them, it will skip any other player that, so like if the right person if you call Pawn on the right person, it will skip the middle and the left person's turn completely. Kan, declaring possession of 4 identical tiles. So if I have 3 1 pins and someone drops or discards a 1 pin, I can call Kan. Now, there are 2 forms of Kan. There's an open Kan and a closed Kan. Open Kan is when someone else discards it and you call Kan. What that does is you take the 4th, it counts as a triplet, and the next tile where the doras lie will be flipped over. As in, there will be another dora to watch out for. A closed Kan is when you have 3, a triplet, and you draw another Kan, or another of that same tile. You can then call a closed Kan, which keeps your hand closed, which is something I will explain later, and again flips another dora. Pon is similar to Qi, is more similar to Kan actually, as in I have 2 of the same and someone discards, I can call Pon, open my hand and take it, and immediately moves to my turn. And this is for anyone, not just the left player. These 2 are probably the most important, Ron and Sumo. So Ron only occurs when you are Tenpai. These 2 only occur when you're Tenpai, 1 away from winning. If someone were to discard the tile that you need to win, you can call Ron and take that tile, which is great. Sumo is you're in Tenpai, your hand is ready for the last tile, and you draw it on your turn. Your hand remains closed, you declare Sumo, and you win. Great. Tiles. Of course, the most important part. We have Man, Pinzu, and So, or Sozu, I believe. Man is the character tiles, these guys. Right? Pin, these guys, the pins. So, the bamboos. We have Kazehai, which is the winds. We have east, I believe west, north, and south. And Sangenpai, the dragons. White dragon, green dragon, and red dragon. Those will come in handy later. Now, I want to go over a few terms that might not be here. We have terminals, and we have honor tiles. The terminal tiles are 1s and 9s. The honor tiles is everything in this top row. Those are also called honors. That will come in handy later. Now, yaku, the way of getting points, the amount of points, and all of that. So we have Riichi, or the Romanji is reach. You declare that you are a tenpai on your turn. That you're waiting for one tile. The indicator of this in both Mahjong Soul and real Mahjong is you discard your tile, put it sideways. Now, you are forced to discard every tile you draw. You have no choice in which tiles you do discard. But this allows you to call Ron or Sumo. You can draw into the tiles that you need. You also wager 1,000 points. If you're at 1,000 points, you cannot declare Riichi. Next, the closed hand, Menzen. There are certain yakus, certain formations of hands that need to be closed, as in you did not call pawn, you did not call chi, and you did not declare an open kan. So going back to those this way. You do not call pawn, chi, or open kan. There are closed kans. Like I said before, if you draw into the fourth one, you still put the tiles aside, but it is assumed that your hand is still closed. So, as soon as you open your hand, you may be setting up a yaku that is worth a lot of points. But the second you call, some of them you can't even call Ron on, because I believe that opens the hand as well. They are worth significantly less if you open your hand, almost to the point where they're not even considered yakumans anymore. Some require it to be completely closed. Now, these two are probably the most beginner friendly, and what I would recommend for anyone starting the game out. Mind you, I don't think there's over 100 yaku. There are a lot of yaku. You don't have to memorize all of them, just a few. So yakuhai is whenever you have a triplet of any wind or dragon. If I have 3 norths, my hand is considered, it has a yakuhai, which makes the hand legal, regardless of other rules I may break. There's another one I will explain after this. And Tanyao is the utmost important foundation to know, to learn, is using tiles from 2 to 8. As soon as you use any terminals, this breaks Tanyao, and you won't have a yaku. Yaku is what you need. You need a yaku to score. If you don't have a yaku, you cannot score, no matter what. So, before I go to the next slide, I need to explain the concept of furiten. Furiten is when you are in a state where if you were to have a yaku, you could score. But you did something that broke that. As in, I have a full yaku, but I'm using 1s or 9s. And I don't have any yakuhais. I'm not using this kind of stuff. You'll be in furiten. Another way to get into furiten is to discard a tile that you would have needed to win. I believe there are instances where you'll be in temporary furiten, where it is overridden as soon as you break that mistake. Next. That's all for today. Very short lecture. I know there is a lot I didn't cover, but that will be explained in the actual games that I play. So let's move on to that.